Dzień dobry, namaste, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, bonjour, hola, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Ken at 10 on this cold 26th of January, 2023. How are you? I hope you're doing well. As usual, we're live for you today, talking about all the day's property news. And today, the first thing that caught my eye was about prime property. Sales of 5 million plus London mansions have reached a record high. Now, believe it or not, properties above the value of 5 million were sold in London in 2022, number 600. Can you imagine it? And this is the highest level that it's ever seen since records began in 2006. Just goes to show the super rich are just getting richer while the rest of us get poorer, isn't it? It's just incredible. So super rich are doing well. The government has been warned that the rental sector reforms will hurt students. This is all about the right to rent. Sorry, not the right to rent, the Section 21, the abolishing of Section 21. And basically what they're saying is the new reforms will harm the student market because the student market does require short-term tenancies, and those Section 21s on non-open-ended tenancies, close-ended tenancies, are not catered for in the legislation. Although the legislation has yet to go through Parliament, so the whole abolishing of Section 21 and the Renters Reform Act is yet to even get that far. So far from it coming up, as they suggested, shortly, I think it's going to be a long time before we see it live. And when it does come, it will be tweaked, and who knows when that will be, because it certainly doesn't seem to be a priority. Similarly with the energy performance requirement for category C, that's the same. That's not working either in terms of they wanted to bring it in 2025. In my view, that's not happening now. And of course, the insistence on ones with existing tenancies was going to happen in 2028. I don't think that's happening either. So everything's being kicked further and further into the long grass. But as usual, the government are getting warnings on this because most of the things that they're trying to do won't work. Will that change things as far as the government's concerned? Well, it hasn't made any difference in the past, has it? They just seem to carry on oblivious to what's going on. Another thing I saw that was quite interesting, a house buyer successfully sued after finding Japanese knotweed. An interesting one, it's local as well. In Rains Park, a man who purchased a £700,000 property in Rains Park in the southwest of London that was riddled with Japanese knotweed has been awarded costs and damages of £200,000 after he successfully sued the seller, Jonathan Downing, a 30-year-old furniture designer. He sued Jeremy in a claim for damages over allegations that Henderson had answered no to the question on a required property information form that asked whether it had been affected by knotweed. Downing sued for $32,000 to cover the cost of the investigation and excavating. And I don't know how that quite, it's probably costs and everything else. As well as the value for the diminution in the value of his home caused by the knotweed. The judge noted the ruling that his confidence in Henderson's story was shaken by evidence from a knotweed expert, and that suggested that the canes were as high as 2 meters at one stage and were overhanging neighboring gardens. Well, it does go to show, you know, the old buyer beware. It's not quite the same anymore. It's not really buyer beware. You have a duty to disclose anything that might impact on a future buyer. So if you've had a dispute with your neighbor, if you've got Japanese knotweed, if there's something that a reasonable buyer might wish to know, then you are legally bound to disclose that at the beginning of the sale. So you need careful discussion with an agent over the balance of that. But I do think it's quite important that, you know, the old buyer beware is knocked out these days because of the way legislation is. Hi, back with you. Sorry about that. A little bit of a problem here technically, but we're back up and live, I believe. Apart from that, what else do we have? The UK's biggest timber-built neighbourhood is proposed in East Sussex. Not sure about that in the wake of everything else that's gone on with Grenfell, post-Grenfell, but I'm sure they're safe. Surely, aren't they? That's what we said about the one in Rains Park, funny enough, and that didn't work very well. Worcester Park, rather. So apart from that, busy day today on valuation. So thank you to all of you that have requested a valuation today and in the future with us, because we're always grateful and it's never lost on us. This is probably one of the most important times in your life. And we hope that we can be of assistance with that. Certainly that's what we're here for. And, you know, it's without obligation as well. So we're never one of those people that's going to come in and say to you, look, you must do this and you must sign here. You know, we're not sharp double glazing salesmen in the end. We've been here for 30 years and we're all about reputation, experience, and making sure that you know that we are the #1 choice if you're buying, selling or renting in the SW16 Norbury area or Streatham or indeed Thornton Heath. And even now, you know, we've got properties going as far as Southampton one way, back into London the other, and we're starting to get inquiries from up north as well for our management services, because many agents, they're managing to let properties successfully, but actually their management side is not very good. They're not very good at making sure repairs are done, inspections are done, and we're very tight on that. So many people are handing over the management side to us, and again, we're very grateful for that, and it's working very well. So if you've got a property that's being managed, you're unhappy with what's going on, especially if, like a lot of our landlords, you're disappointed because the agent is charging you a percentage of any works that is carried out on your property. This is very common and something we don't do at James Alexander. And what it means is that it gives the agent an incentive to do the maximum amount of work on your property that they can, because they're getting a percentage profit on every job that goes out to those contractors. Whereas here at JA, we don't charge our contractors any commission, and therefore you can be assured that we're just as happy for you to get a quote from elsewhere as from our own contractors. And most importantly, you're not getting overcharged by what amounts to a minimum of 12% more, in many cases 20% or so more, by the time the agent has added on their commission on top of the job itself. So watch for that one. And if you are a landlord, if you see that there's a job that the agent has charged a fee for the repair work on, then you probably fall into that category. We may be able to help you. So worth contacting us. Drop me an email, ken@jamesalexander.com as always, or call me 0208 679 8601. As far as the weather's concerned here in Norbury, a bit warmer today. It's about 6 degrees coming in, which is about 6 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. So pleased to see that. So yeah, really busy day today. If you're looking to book a valuation, we would love to hear from you. Still free tomorrow afternoon. So if you fancy a valuation, you've got some time in the afternoon tomorrow, we've got your back. Apart from that, have a fantastic day. Thanks for watching as always. Hope you have a great day. Look after your friends and family. We'll be back same time, same place tomorrow. Ciao.